Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Corey and Kevin Talk About Nothing. If you're tuning in for the first time,
I'm Corey.
I'm Kevin. And on today's episode, you got anything good for us today?
Yes and no.
All right, I'll fill in on the no part then.
Yeah, all right, perfect. All right, good. All right, so that's what I thought. Yeah, perfect. All right, I figured you would, so that's kind of how this works, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Checks and balances.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yes. So before we get started, though, if you want to get notifications when we go drop new content, new episodes, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. If you have any ideas, anything along those lines, you can always shoot us an email at cktalkaboutnothing@gmail.com. You can tweet us at CoreyKevin1.
Yep.
And then just don't forget to use our special bat signal,
Hashtag embrace the nothing.
Embrace the nothing.
And
use it.
I checked it out this morning, I do believe, and nobody's out there has been using it, so
Huh.
come on.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. If you don't want to,
It's fine.
there's lurkers in life. I feel like we learned about lurkers a lot when we were streaming because you get like those onesie twosies that say nothing to you, but they're watching.
At
You're
all.
like, do I address them?
Exactly.
And then I'm a lurker. I'm like, I go on the Twitch stream and I'm like, watching.
Just watch. Yeah.
Don't say hi to me. I'm
yeah,
not here.
No. Not here one bit,
Twitch streaming, I feel like those
Good.
streamers are always having like mental breakdowns, taking breaks, and
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
does not seem like a healthy job.
No. Well, then like when the money's not coming in, I think it's just constant stress. You're constantly waiting for this, constantly waiting for that, constantly waiting for this. You're like going out and you're trying to do content, trying to do this, but you can only do so much content when you're playing the game. I'm just saying, there's only so much you can do while you're doing it, and that to me that's the hardest part about streaming. So.
And then it's like the toll it takes of playing a game that you love, but now you're playing it because your income depends on it, and now you're putting in massive hours because your fans want you to play it, and it's I really like give it up for streamers. I think like that's an intense job, and it's like good entertainment. I mean, you hear about the number of people watching these people, and I mean that's got to be pressure
insane.
alone. I mean, you say
absolutely.
one wrong thing, and it's like, nope, pull the plug, you're off, or banned, or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's great. But actually, because that actually happened to a couple of streamers, and they're talking of making their own streaming service, actually, because then they can do what they want to do, but that's only going to get them so far. That's the thing. You only do so much before people quit watching you.
Yeah, I was going to say, sure, come up with your own platform, and then what you're just going to use vulgar language or slurs, and people are going to be like, well, I'm not going to watch you because that's just ignorant.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course, you're going to have your few people, that will stick around no matter what, just because they enjoy the gameplay. But outside of that,
sayonara.
That's not gonna happen. Exactly, yeah. So I mean, there's certain ones out there that are huge. I'm talking massive. I mean, that were in talkings of this, but then they rejoined other ones instead. It's kind of funny. You're like, so you signed a year-long contract, but you're supposed to make it in 2
it's
months.
Probably just up their amount of money that well, all right, if we give you another $1 million or $2 million, will you stay?
Exactly, yes. Well, absolutely. I mean, isn't that crazy? I mean, have you ever looked up like the Twitch streamers of like the big ones and see how much they're worth?
Yes.
Like, it's insane.
They're pulling in insane amounts of money. They're pulling in so much money that they're actually saying, please limit how much people are giving me. Because some people are throwing 20, 40, 50 bucks in a donation. Well, these top streamers are like, hey, save those big ones for lesser known streams and cap mine at like 5. And I mean, like, wait a minute. You're making so much money that you're like, oh, okay, hold on. Now I'm just starting to feel bad,
Yes, yeah, it's insane. It's crazy.
Like, okay, I would love to feel bad about how much I'm making. So.
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. I do feel bad about how much I'm making. Just a total different end of the spectrum,
That is true. That's true. That is insane. I've never heard that before, but I'm like, maybe I should rethink, my
Yeah.
process here.
The next
again.
month they're like, actually, could we
Yeah.
retort that? I don't think
Yeah, hey,
I was
sorry,
thinking
small
clearly.
guys. Yeah, that's so funny. That's awesome.
Yeah, but a big one I just read, I think this morning, this guy, Asmongold.
Yeah.
He's a big World of Warcraft streamer. He's actually like, I'm pretty sure like the top watched person streaming World of Warcraft. And
Yeah. Okay.
I'm talking about huge numbers, like sickening, like, wow,
Yeah.
like makes you feel good because, like there's that many people playing or watching your favorite game, but I don't even know how long he's been doing it, but it sounds like he's taking like an indefinite break. And it's like you just hope that these people have banked enough money that when you take your break that you can truly take a break, not have to worry about finances, not have to worry about getting another job. But God, I mean, some of that money, if they're just managing, like I've seen like how much these people are making, and some of them save a ton of money by doing those streamer houses where like you have a ton of people in one house and they're all chipping in.
Yeah.
So you're basically just getting huge
banking.
bank accounts.
Yes.
That's where it kind of starts feeling more gimmicky, though, right? You have like these
Yep.
streamer houses. Now it's more like a reality TV show because I feel like now you're going to be creating drama to get the views, and now it's not necessarily about the games anymore.
Absolutely. Yep. You're 100%. I think you're right. I think you're starting the new trend of. I mean, could very well be that. So I don't watch. We had a conversation that I said I haven't been watching many streamers like as much recently.
Yeah.
So ever since we had that conversation, then I was thinking about it, and then one of the ones I used to watch all the time actually came live like the next day. So I'm like, you know what? I just talked about it. Let's watch it. And what did he do? Oh, he was off for a week because he just moved to North Carolina in a streamer house with 3 other streamers, and they're all talking in the background. He's actually having conversations with people as they're streaming in the same household, on his stream.
That's kind of weird.
You guys are that close, you know what I mean? But I think the community of like between both streamers, they're like majority of not like all the same. Like there's certain people, like, there's certain ones that just watch him, and certain ones but they both have like people that both like. There was one person like on the stream that said, "Oh, you know what? I'm done with such and such. I'm gonna go watch his other streamer." Right, and they're in the same household playing the same exact game. Like they've actually have gotten into each other's games while playing this at the same time. On accident, because it's Fortnite. So you literally, you know what I mean. The first 100 people that click in this around the same time that you do, you guys are all getting that same game as long as you're in the same like skill bracket. So, I mean,
it's like okay, a whole nother really world, man.
It's weird, man. Yeah. So, I mean, don't be wrong. Could it turn into some entertainment? Yes, but at the same time, is that entertainment that I really want to dive into or anything along those lines?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of drama in the movies, not reality TV show, and like.
It's too fake.
Exactly. It's engineered. And that's like the worst you could possibly do because now it's just pitting one streamer against the other, and it's like the beginning of like the late 90s or early 2000s of rap where somebody would lay down a diss track and then let me respond with a diss track, and then there were rapper feuds. And I know that goes back even earlier than that or whatever, but I just remember from what I remember, and it's just like, it's the same thing. It's just engineered.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's label to label, There's beef between both, so then they just go and automatic marks, So they just, it's just, look what happened. I mean, we had one, what is that, 2 years ago now? Between our Cleveland rapper and Eminem.
Oh, yeah. Machine Gun Kelly and MGK and,
Eminem, so like that. I mean,
and then
that
he went
like,
punk. So that meme or whatever, somebody had said like, "Man, Eminem beat MGK so bad he went to a different genre of music."
It's insane. I mean, because don't get me wrong, I really, I like enjoy MGK. I mean, his music it's good. I mean, his punk stuff was, I like it because I like punk music a little bit more. But if you went into it as like a MGK fan to listen to a different album, you'd be like. nah, I'm gonna skip that one, right?
Yeah.
You know, it really wasn't all that great, but it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I still listen to it, you know. So I mean, I still got me a little bit of kudos, but I mean, it's because Blink 182, you know.
Oh, yeah, Travis Barker.
Travis Barker, yeah. So I mean, that's who recorded. That's why, because I think his new album that's coming out. He's got another one coming out soon too, I think, and that one's back to his original. I think Dr. Dre's label. I think.
Oh, interesting. Very cool.
Yeah, yeah. Or no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Not Dr. Dre. P Diddy Combs. P Diddy.
P. Diddy Combs. You mean the gardener?
Yes, the gardener. Yeah, that miracle spray.
The miracle spray. Man, that rash went away.
Yeah, he's like, have you been with any ladies of the night? Yeah,
that's awesome.
Have you been on a boat with any ladies of the night? So like, it's just like the way he kept saying it was so funny. He's like, man, you guys put me on the spot. You know, I'm sorry about that. You know, I had to blast you with a little bit of pesticides. It's so good. Yeah, that's awesome. I haven't watched him more.
Spray? Pesticide.
I haven't watched more. It's Always Sunny because The Office, man. I'm upset about it. So I've been watching a lot more of The Office. I mean, It's Always Sunny.
It's Always Sunny.
My brain
Comedy Central had an episode of The Office on, and I was like, I have to get it in, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I'm upset with Peacock because, well, not Peacock, I should say NBC, because they took The Office and put it on Peacock, right?
Yeah,
so I guess it's really not Peacock's fault. But so what happened, so I was watching... So I was watching the Browns, and I don't have regular just cable. I have certain channels. If it's not coming up my certain channel, I don't get the cable.
Oh,
I don't get I can't watch it. So I Googled it, and it came up that Peacock was playing it. So I downloaded Peacock. It's free. Signed into it. Well, after the game was over last night, I was still up. I drank a late cup of coffee because I wasn't too sure. I'm out of work, you know. So I'm going to stay up for a little while, you know. So I drank a cup of coffee. Well, the next thing you know, I'm like, well, I wonder, you know, what am I going to do right now? Well, Peacock's downloaded, so... I watched probably half of the season of, that first season of It's Office last night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's commercials and everything, but I don't care. I was like, and the funny thing is, I just rewatched like 5 seasons of it before Netflix was before it left Netflix. So I got majority of it in. Yeah, but it was like funny. I love it, man. I can't help it.
Yeah, so one benefit of Sling having Comedy Central.
Yes,
I get to watch some Office still.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then I think that is some other channel, True TV. No, maybe it's TBS. I don't remember. Some other station plays It's Always Sunny. Oh, Vice plays It's Always Sunny.
Oh, okay.
They bleep stuff out that like FX doesn't bleep out. And it's like, what?
No, it's weird.
You're kind of like an edgier platform, and you're gonna bleep stuff out.
Well, don't you have FXX too?
I have FX on demand. I don't have FX the channel.
Live. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's a streamer wars. There's 1,000 services, and each of them has one thing. Not
one.
A bunch. So it's not always worth it to switch or add, but it's just ridiculous.
Sometimes you just don't know either. Yeah.
But speaking of streaming and watching, we're almost finished with The Good Place.
Nice. Okay. All right.
And I'm sad. It's been a really fun ride, and I've really loved the characters. So I'm like thinking about these characters, and I'm like, oh well, you know what are some of these other people in? So I looked it up, and it's really funny. So Chidi, the one of the main cast members, he's actually from the movie Midsommar, and I've watched Midsommar, and I it must be the glasses, because I'm like that. I had no recollection that he, you know, I'm pretty good with faces and movies and everything. That didn't come up on my radar at all. But
that doesn't even sound familiar at all.
Well, Chidi is his name in The Good Place.
Oh, okay.
So you wouldn't know that, but I don't remember his real name. But then there's Jamila Jamil, and she's the host on the Misery Index right now with the
oh, yes. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
But I found out that The Good Place is literally her first acting job. So I was like, oh, well, that's really cool. And then Jason in the show, he has the same birthday that I do. We share the same birthday. So I felt like I got to know the cast a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. Man. You figured it out.
But yeah, I'm kind of sad. We only have like maybe I think 1 or 2 more episodes to go, and
okay,
it's over. So we're trying to look at what else to start, and we're thinking about doing New Girl.
Oh, okay. All right, so like a smaller sitcom thing?
Yeah, still the quick episodes. We know it's over, so let's start checking these sitcoms off
Absolutely.
the list. Right?
Absolutely.
Now,
and the big ones, too. You know what I mean?
Now, New Girl, we watched, I think, 3 or 4 seasons of it, but if it's live on TV, we're just not very good at keeping up. No. I'd rather binge it later.
Yeah, and with the little one, too. You know what I mean? You gotta pick your time, so you don't always
this was even before that.
Oh,
yeah, this was like way before that. Yeah, and we stopped watching it way before that. So can't even give Clementine credit for that.
That's awesome. So speaking of TV shows too, so I actually started a new one.
Oh, would you check out?
Okay, so have you ever heard of the show called Barry?
Yes, on HBO.
On HBO, yes.
Yeah, Bill Hader.
Dude, yes. Like, all right, at first, because I went in and so I watched one episode. Was it last night? I don't know. It was recently. It was either last night or the night before. Mm-hmm. And I watched the first episode, but I think I was going into it that was supposed to be more like, and I didn't read about it.
It's like really dry, right? Like, it's kind of slow.
It's very slow. Mm-hmm. Like that's part of so I'm like, and it wasn't funny. Like I was expecting, Bill Hader's a funny guy. And like, of course he has this like small one-liner things.
Yeah. Like,
but they're not like,
I think it's like the overall, I agree with you. Jessica and I both started Barry, and it's something that we want to continue watching, but we fell off of that one. We watched the first couple episodes, and I felt the same way. It's slow, and was not like funny how I thought. Like, no. I mean, it's Bill Hader, HBO, whatever, but the overall concept is very funny. You have like a hitman who has no feeling and he wants to become an actor.
Yes. It's hilarious. Absolutely. Yes. In the middle of one of his assassinations, he meets somebody. Likes them because of what they did, and now he's not going to murder them, and now he's chasing life away from there.
Yeah, right.
So you're like, okay, like hold on a second here. I mean, but it's really good. So this is what I wanted to tell you about it. So I was kind of blown away. So Barry, we always kind of go to Rotten Tomatoes, right, for certain things. Do you know Rotten Tomatoes gives Barry there's only 2 seasons of it out so far. It came out in 2019.
I'm guessing 97.
A 99%.
99%, yeah.
A 99%.
And that's what I mean. Like, I think if we went in at it at a different angle, like if I knew that it was like maybe like a dramedy, like drama and comedy or something like that, I think I would look at it differently.
And that's what I did today.
Oh, did you?
I redid that. I redid it today because I was going into a toy for mindset. I'm thinking it's gonna be okay. I just got done watching. I'm not even finished through watching them yet. But the documentary now, which on there, he's nothing but constantly funny the entire time, So, like, I got this whole, like, persona over my head, I think, about this Bill Hader guy. And all of a sudden it comes out, and I'm like, not what I wanted to see, Like, this is kind of weird, That's why, I mean, what show do you start? You watch one episode only when you first start it? None.
Right.
You know what I mean? You always get at least 2 episodes in. You got your hour film.
Unless it's, like, horrible.
Well,
then you're like, okay, I'm not going to enjoy this, for sure. But yeah.
So I just knew what I needed to do. I woke up today. I was hanging around the house, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to give it one more valiant effort because it was so, like, I was so not into it when I actually even thought about, like, what happened in the show. I remembered, like, the big scenes, like, little things and all that. I'm like, I don't really, like, when I rewatched it, I'm like, I don't remember this part, Like, oh, wait, I didn't remember this part. And the nice part is they're only half hour long. Actually, like 20-some minutes. Because they always do a, inside
previously
episode.
on. Oh.
Yeah,
an inside look at the end or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
So that's sweet. So I really like that because it's on HBO, and I think HBO shows do that a lot. So when I watched that, it was actually cool to like to understand sometimes, like, and maybe that's what kind of changed my mind the second time too, because they actually they make you, Bill Hader makes you feel what the character's like trying to feel, and like how to bring out what's going on in his head in the show that made you like, oh, that would be crazy. They explain it. That's what they did that on purpose. You're like, oh wow, okay, like, huh, all right, like, well, the one part I'm not ruining anything because you've already seen it anyways, but like, remember where the first time he goes on stage, and he goes up there and he says his line real quick and he's like super awkward.
Yeah.
Well, they said to themselves, like, they're like, well, how can we make him feel good on the stage without anything else? Like without going too far overboard, how can we do it? And then the one writer in the back, out of all the many they had, all of a sudden says, let's just have the audience applause for him. And that's what made the scene so well, because if you think about it, that's exactly what happened and made him be like, oh my gosh, I love acting, right?
Yeah.
So like it actually tied everything in. One clap from an audience group, it's the class, made him feel this way, and you're like, oh wow, really? I mean, I never really like thinking about it. I think that one thing did, but that's really what happened. He made him feel good, and all of a sudden now I'm going to be an actor.
That's awesome.
I'm not gonna assassinate the guy that I'm getting paid lots of money for.
Right. Yeah. It kind of like the first episode kind of reminded me. Have you watched that Tommy Wiseau's movie The Room, or have you ever watched The Disaster Artist?
No.
Okay. If you get all right, so this is a recommendation without being a recommendation, because I might recommend it some other time as an actual official recommendation.
Okay.
But this is just like, hey, here's a good tip. So if you want to, go ahead and watch The Room. The Room is basically one of the worst movies ever made. But it has a cult following. It's almost like what not to do in a movie type of thing.
Oh, gotcha.
And the guy who made it, he self-financed it, and he was a wealthy person, and he self-financed it. He acted in it. He wrote it. He spent a ton of money putting this movie together, using green screens when you could have shot on location, like just ridiculous stuff. And The Disaster Artist is actually James Franco. He plays Tommy Wiseau, and basically goes through the creation of the movie The Room. So watching the Disaster Artist, you basically get a feel for what The Room is. But it kind of reminds me of that, because Tommy Wiseau goes on and he's not auditioning, but he's part of like an acting group and trying to learn how to act. And he goes on there and he thinks he's so good, but everybody's like, no, man, you're not.
Yeah.
I don't think you got it, man. Like, acting just might not be your thing. But anyways, I just went off on a little tangent. But if you ever are like, well, I need to watch something, The Disaster Artist is fantastic. That's gotta be high on the Rotten Tomatoes list. It's gotta be high. What's it called one more time? The Disaster Artist. Yep.
Well, let me figure this out. This.
The Disaster Artist with James Franco. Now, everybody's in it. James Franco. Actually, James Franco and Dave Franco, they're brothers, and they acted in it together, like as the two main characters. And
okay.
James Franco, I don't know about his personal life. I know he's like a really smart dude. I don't know really much anything about him, but I know he's like a really good actor. And you forget that it's James Franco. You just think it's Tommy Wiseau, man. It's crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job. But Dave Franco definitely is an excellent actor too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, so Rotten Tomatoes. Drum roll, added 91%.
Oh,
yeah, crushed that one.
Look at that.
So it's crazy though. So Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 91, and then IMDb only gave it a 7.4 though. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I don't know. IMDb's weird, man. Sometimes
it's super weird. I don't.
They're like really lenient with like really bad movies. They're like, that should have been like a 2 out of 10. They're like, 7.
Yeah, 7.2. Yeah.
Then you have like Braveheart, and they're like, it's like 7.5, and you're like, did you watch the movie?
Oh, Alison Brie's in that one too.
Yeah. Yep. She actually plays Dave Franco. I didn't say that, no. Okay. But I'm pretty sure she plays Dave Franco's love interest. which is funny because
Gotcha.
they're married in real life.
Yeah, this is a huge cast.
Yeah, Seth Rogen. Yeah, I mean
Seth
everybody.
Rogen,
Yeah.
Dave Franco, Allison Brie, Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. That's right.
Yeah, I mean that's just crazy, man. There's a lot of people in that one.
That's an actor that I'm excited to see more of as he is going through this more mature age of his life, is Zac Efron.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. He was good and funny. Like that's the thing.
Well, I think he's got a lot more in him than that. Like, have you ever watch Sick and Twisted, and I forget. I think it's a Netflix movie, but it's about Ted Bundy, and he plays Ted Bundy, and he does he does a pretty good job, like being charming and a psycho. You know?
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. I'll have to watch it because I was really interested in it when it first came out. Like I'm like, I really want to do this, but sometimes you gotta be in a certain mindset or like wanting to like really sit down, because I heard there was like a really detailed and like they teach you a lot about who Ted Bundy was, obviously. And I didn't know who he was, so before I watched, I did a little bit of research on it, and then I never went back to actually watch the show. Don't know why.
Oh, this is a movie, so there's other things that this isn't like too. I mean, it's like a biographical movie type of thing where he plays him, but it's more like theatrical than.
I meant that. I said show. I meant movie.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry. So yes. So the movie.
Yeah. I gotcha.
So yeah.
He's got
I think they did make a show too, like a documentary show.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. He's got a show on Netflix also with this other guy, where they travel the world and like show how other people live and like clean energy, clean water, stuff like that. I mean.
Oh, really?
It was really cool, and you could see like him as a person just like growing through it, like almost like starting off like I'm a Hollywood brat and I want to learn about the world, and then once he's leaving after the series is over, he's like, I don't think I want to live in America anymore, you know?
Is it called Down to Earth?
Yes.
Efron?
Yeah. It's really good. It is really good.
Okay, all right.
I really enjoyed that series. Jessica, I was like, do I need to be concerned? You know what? 'Cause we watched something with Zac Efron, and then it was like the next day she's watching that. I'm like, I mean, I get it. You know, he's kind of the total package, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's all right.
It's all right. Yeah. As long as I don't ever see him in public, I'll just be like, wow, you make me feel really inadequate. I'll tell you that, bud.
We don't talk about it.
Please tell me you're tiny. Please tell me.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. That's fake. That's,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a prosthetic down there, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's funny.
Oh man. But anyways, so I did watch 2 movies.
Okay. I watched one too. So.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to go with yours first?
You want to, or you want to do one and one? You know,
all right.
You can wrap it up.
All right, I will do yeah. All right, so I wanted to give this movie a try because I guess I like owed it to the actresses in the movie, the actors. I shouldn't separate because everybody's just an actor, right? But anyways, Ocean's 8. I loved Ocean's 11. Ocean's 12 was okay, but Ocean's 13 was pretty solid. And I love Steven Soderbergh as a director. He does a really good job. But Ocean's 8, I'm like, the previews, the trailers, they just didn't win me over. But the cast, it's a really star-studded cast, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch it. And wowee, was it underwhelming. And then I got to the ending, and I'm just like, okay, this is kind of like a slap in the face to anybody who just watched this movie. It was bad. Like, they force-fed you garbage. And then at the very end, they're like, oh, while you weren't looking, we did this. And it's like, that's not what you do.
Yeah, so you led me to the wrong thing so I didn't know the ending, right?
Yeah.
Let me guess the ending, people. I don't care.
I mean, like, it was almost like a parody of Ocean's 11 rather than just being a standalone Ocean's movie. And they kept making references to like Danny Ocean because Sandra Bullock plays his sister. Yeah, and they brought in like a few other characters, and it just felt forced. I thought, man, it would have been a really cool idea if you just created your own top-notch heist movie and left Oceans out of it. Like,
Yeah, why not?
yeah. I
I mean, don't no, not good.
star-studded cast, and I just was disappointed.
I mean,
What's the Rotten Tomatoes on that one?
69.
69%?
Yeah.
Dude, that's way too high.
And actually, but IMDb gave it 6.8 too. So I mean, that's even getting lower. You know,
Yeah.
It's crazy. But 83% of Google users that's rated this liked it on there too.
I don't trust Google users, I guess.
Yeah, that's crazy because that's like us, you know, like we're Google.
Yeah, I'm a
users.
Google user, and I don't recommend. I do not endorse this product. Okay.
Do you want me just to give you a thumbs down right now?
Yeah, right.
Nope, that's an 82%.
Yeah. Bring that down, please, because even at 69% on
funny.
Rotten Tomatoes seems
Yeah, it's
awfully
crazy.
high.
It
I
blew
was
my
thinking
mind
like
actually.
28%.
Yeah.
I mean, the ending
With the
was
cast?
seriously like a slap in the face. It was like, the money wasn't there. We were doing this. This is where we're getting all the other money. Ha ha ha. While you guys were doing this, we were doing this. And then they cut to all these scenes of them doing. It was
things.
awful.
Got
It was awful.
All right.
And I do not recommend that movie.
I
Ocean's
mean,
8. It's a
the
clunker.
cast is absolutely huge.
That's what
I
I'm
will say
saying.
that. Yeah,
And I felt
mean,
like Kate Blanchett. I usually love Kate Blanchett. And I felt like she just tried to be somebody she wasn't. And she just tried to be too much like a Brad Pitt type of character. And it just bothered me. Like, Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt. You know?
Mm-hmm. That's true. You cannot compete with the Brad Pitt.
Yeah, you can't. Now, speaking of Brad Pitt, I couldn't sleep, so I woke up at like 2:30. No, I went to bed at like 2:30 in the morning, like one of these nights, and I couldn't sleep. And the only movie that was on TV was Fury. You ever watch Fury?
Oh, I did
Like,
actually.
man, that's
yeah.
a good movie. So I'm
it's
like,
a good flick,
I'll
for
watch
sure.
that, and then
Yep.
I finally fell asleep. But man, yeah, that I was like, damn, that's a solid good movie right there.
Yeah. That's funny.
So, what movie did you watch?
So yes, so I did watch a movie. It was one that I would, if I had to put it on the recommend or not recommend list, it would be Floating because I like the stat. I like the cast. I like the that's why that's actually the reason why I watched it. I really that was the reason. But other than that, they have, because of who they are, they have their funny moments, like their funny lines because of the characters they play. But the movie in general, not so good. But I did watch it, all right? Have you seen the movie 30 Minutes or Less?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I can. All right. Yeah, I'm willing to discuss this movie for sure.
All right, awesome. I didn't realize it came out in 2011.
Yeah, it's an older one. Wow.
Blew my mind.
Yeah, you're right. And you gotta.
Yes.
So this is the beginning of like some of these
Yeah.
budding
Young.
careers. Yeah.
It makes sense now.
Yeah.
I thought they did it. I thought I'm like, damn, they did a pretty good job for, that's why I looked it up to see when the movie came out after I watched it
Yeah.
because, like Jesse Eisenberg, same thing. He's like young, and I'm like, what?
I feel like Jesse
that's
Eisenberg
kinda
is like
weird.
one of those people that's like, it's gonna take him so many years to finally look old.
Like, yes. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be that 60-year-old man that can pass for like 35. you
Yeah,
know?
he's still doing like whatever
Yeah.
movie he wants because
Yep.
he's like, I mean, I could be your son, I could be your dad.
Okay, like, don't get me wrong. I have to give credit to Danny McBride, though, because no matter what movie he's in, just his stupid attitude and his stupid talking makes me laugh no matter what he's doing. I can't help it. The movie could be stupid, dog, trash around the entire thing, and he's that one gleaming light that comes out of it. It makes me laugh. He's that guy for me every single time I see him. I don't know why. So
I think my favorite performance out of that movie is Michael Pena, the hitman. Just because, like, the way he talks to everybody and everything is just like it's just so funny. He's the sun, and people just revolve around him.
Yep, 100%.
He gets
That is
he
so
gets
funny.
like shot in the he gets shot somehow with a pen
gun?
gun. It's like, what the hell's that, a pen gun? What the hell?
Like, oh, you shot me with the pen gun? Oh, come on, man.
That's
he brings it up multiple times.
Yeah,
So
that's like Michael Pena. Now, speaking of Michael Pena, he's now involved in a new MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe theory. So in Endgame, there's a scene where Ant-Man and the Wasp are in the van trying to fire up the machine, and in the background is Giant Man. So how could it be in two different locations, right? But if you watch Ant-Man, the first one, or it might be in the second one, I don't remember. Michael Pena's character actually says, I have to get one of these suits. And so basically a fan said, I think he got his own suit so he could do the same thing. So bingo. Because there's more than one Ant-Man suit. So it's like, bingo.
Uh-oh.
It's like, how do you get rid of continuity? Or how do you solve continuity? Is let a dedicated fan come up with something like, that's it. That's the one.
That's the one. There it is, right there.
But yeah, he is constantly like my favorite character in movies. He was in Fury.
Oh yeah. He's funny. He's one of those side characters. So it's crazy. So actually, when I'm going through, I was going through to kind of to see, like to just going through the cast of the movie, right?
Yeah.
And he's actually a pretty big character in the movie.
Oh yeah, but he's probably low.
I had to hit the down arrow to find him. I'm like, what is going on? Like this is weird. I had to triple check and triple make sure. And he's so funny.
Yeah, because he really doesn't have a lot of screen time.
No.
But he makes use of his screen time well.
Oh, absolutely.
He does that in every movie he's in.
Yeah, 100%.
Here's another unofficial recommendation. Have you ever watched End of Watch? It's with Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena.
It sounds super familiar. I think I did watch it, but I would have to like look it up to see.
It's by the same director of Fury and End of Watch.
End of Watch?
Yeah, David Ayer. End of Watch, dude. That movie was intense, captivating, enthralling. As you see, yeah.
I did watch it.
That's
yes,
a solid good movie, but
it is a solid good movie.
That's what that's where like he can play a funny guy, but he could do serious really well.
Yeah, for sure. Hey.
He was in that movie Chips with Dax Shepard, and I gotta tell you, for being kind of like a pretty guessable comedy, man, that was a pretty funny movie. Did you ever watch that one, Chips?
No.
All right, that's a good one to throw on. That's just a good rated R comedy.
All right. I'll keep that on the back of my mind. I'll find it.
Yeah.
Chips.
Found it. Which makes me think, because Dax Shepard's character in that movie is getting divorced from his wife, and his wife is Kristen Bell. The Good Place. Actually, Dax Shepard cameoed on the Good Place when they were in hell. He was like a person in hell. It was pretty funny.
That's
I'm like,
funny.
I imagine that to be true.
Yep. Yep.
Like, I'll see you there, but no big deal.
Yep. Yeah.
So anyways, I keep sidetracking you. Very sorry about that.
No, it's fine. No, we're good.
30 minutes or less. Now, I thought the duo, Jesse Eisenberg, always good in a frantic situation. When he gets frazzled, it's funny. And the same thing with Aziz Ansari. So I thought those two paired together worked very well. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I agree. I like because of Parks and Rec.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
He makes me laugh every single time.
Yeah, he's really funny. I'd say if anything, 30 minutes or less was just toned down content wise. I thought the talent was there. I just thought there could have just been maybe a bit more vulgar.
Yes.
If that even sounds right. I mean, it just seemed like a toned down movie for what it was. I mean, the guy. Yeah. I mean, they literally robbed a bank.
Everything. They
went to a school with a bomb vest on. Yes. I mean, there's some pretty heavy shit there,
And nothing. That's why, when I watch the previews for it, I'm laughing in the previews because this seems like it's going to be a hilarious scenario type of thing, right?
But they make it like it's supposed to be.
Well, exactly. Well, so even
when
they go and Well, like then like the father at the very end when he shoots Michael Pena in the face with a pen gun, right?
Yeah.
That was such a like
Anticlimactic.
yeah, like, oh, yep, I expect that out of my son. Ha 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 ha. You're like, you expect your son to kill you? Like that's all you have to say about the situation, and then it's back to talking trash to him, and then shoot him in the face with a pen gun, right? Like this whole thing is just kind of like not that great, you know? Like what happened here?
Yeah, the ending kind of got a little fuzzy too,
Yeah.
and then I don't know.
I don't know. The dad's a Marine, and he gets flipped around by this guy, shot in the leg, and that's the end of it. He shoots with a pen gun. So this awesome Marine that is, then he does this, that is a millionaire because he won the lottery.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
It's so funny too how girls can, girls persuaded Michael McBride. Oh, if you want to be the king, Danny McBride. Yeah. I don't
Michael
know why I said
McBride.
that. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, I don't know where that came from, but anyways, now I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm literally having a brain. I'm having a brain not aneurysm right now. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I hope not. I will call 911 if you do.
Thank you. Okay, so anyways, let's just move on from that thought.
So 30 minutes or less. Yeah, yes. I would say underwhelming. I enjoy the performances, so it's almost like one of those stepping stone movies where it's like, okay, I see your potential. Now that I've seen that, let's start putting you in some bigger comedies or whatever. Yeah, I agree. I think we saw that one at the drive-in for some reason a long time ago, and we kind of felt the same way. We're like, man, for this cast. I mean, I know, like we said, it was like kind of earlier on, 2011, but Danny McBride you already knew about. I mean, Tropic Thunder came out in 2007. Yeah. Actually, when did Pineapple Express come out? That's 2009, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, we've known about Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Now, one character we did not talk about yet is one of my favorites from Grandma's Boy. Now I'm having the brain fart.
What, Danny Swartzen?
Nick Swardson, that's it. Nick Swardson. Danny Swardson? You're getting all your names.
I was throwing it out there wrong. That's the whole
funny.
point. Yeah,
Nick Swardson, man. He's so funny because he's just like there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
But yeah.
He did make me laugh a couple times, though. Oh, I'm not going to lie. He made me laugh a couple times. Yeah. That dude is hilarious to me.
He's definitely not like a main... Like not like you never want. I mean, I never watched Bucky Larson, but I'm pretty sure that movie broke that dude.
Yeah,
probably not like a main star, but man, supporting that dude can be so funny. The Wrong Missy, that dude was pretty damn funny in The Wrong Missy. He was pretty fucking wild in that one.
He was definitely absolutely. That's the first time he saw him fat, right?
Yeah, he's put on some
weight. Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to call him fat, but like when you see him in this movie, compare this next one.
I just watched a South Park episode with a bunch of PC babies, politically correct babies, so watch out.
Well, it was a joke.
I'm just kidding.
Nick Swardson, you're my boy.
You're my boy. Hey, Grandma's Boy, you'll always be my boy, Nick Swardson. You in that car bed. And you were balls deep with that turtle last night. So... the second movie I watched, that I will recommend. Now, it is a loose recommendation. I would say if you're into neo-noir type of movies, or if you're into maybe a romanticized 70s type of feeling, or if you just like Joaquin Phoenix, the movie is called Inherent Vice. I had to look up what that even meant, because I'm like, what does that mean? Inherent, and basically, like, the best way to put it in an example is like a banana is an inherent vice because naturally it's decaying. So if you were to travel with it, it could decay on the way while it's traveling, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
It's an inherent vice. That's like just the best way I guess I can explain it. But
okay. Right.
That's the title of the movie, and they kind of Joaquin Phoenix plays this guy who's like a private investigator, who's looking for his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, and then he winds up looking for his ex-girlfriend, and it's like a drug-filled world because he's like, smoking marijuana constantly, and he's just hazy. Sometimes they get high off of like the laughing gas, and like it's like, they talk about tripping on acid and stuff like that. So it's like a very drug-filled movie. So some things that are happening in the movie, like if things switch on you, and if you're not paying attention, like, wait, wasn't she driving the car? And you kind of get an understanding, like, oh, his memory is a little fuzzy. So some things just,
Yeah.
it was pretty funny because there were a couple of times I got caught off guard. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. I'm like, I think I get what's going on here. But Reese Witherspoon is in it. Josh Brolin is in it. Benicio del Toro is in it.
Oh, okay.
Benicio making it in the rounds again. You snazzy son of a gun.
Talk about this guy quite a bit around here.
I love Benicio. So, and I thought it was actually kind of cool because Benicio and Josh Brolin are in it. Now I don't. Oh, they did actually share some screen time together too. And I was,
really?
I say that like you're in my brain, and what I meant is like years later, they're in a movie called Sicario. Benicio del Toro and you know who I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Thanos, that guy, Josh Brolin.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro are in a movie called Sicario with Emily Blunt. And that movie is 99, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I guarantee it. It is so good. But I was like, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, Inherent Vice came out in 2014.
Yes.
And what you got?
It's got a better rating than majority of your movie recommendations, if that makes you feel better.
What is it?
A 73%.
Hey,
so you're above that 60%, man. I think 60 is like that failing, Yeah, you got a C. You got a C on this one.
Okay.
Maybe even a C plus.
Passing grade.
That's it.
So, in a California beach community, private detective Larry Doc Sportello tends to work his cases through a smoky haze of marijuana. One day, Shasta, a former lover, arrives out of the blue to plead for Doc's help. It seems that Shasta's current beau, rich real estate tycoon Mickey Wolfman, has a wife who may be plotting to commit him to a mental hospital. When Mickey and Shasta both disappear, Doc navigates a psychedelic world of surfers, stoners, and cops to solve the case.
Oh, okay.
It was like I watched it and I was like, you feel high after the movie because you're like, what just happened? Like, I gotta compile some thoughts. Like, did anything happen? Like, was he just sitting around the whole time? I don't know. Yeah. But Joaquin Phoenix is good as always. I always love performances from him. And Josh Brolin plays, the tight ass cop. Typical.
Of course.
Which is funny because in Sicario he plays a very loosely dressed cop. He wears shorts, sandals. But anyways,
okay. He's who is Charlie?
Come on, man.
It's a crooked cop. It's a crooked cop.
Serpico. I see what's going on, you crooked cops. I'm taking this to the top. I love his Pacino. He does such a good Pacino.
Yep. That makes me mad. That's so funny. Yeah, that's awesome. Serpico.
Hold on, guys. I have a great costume for this. No, don't do this.
So
if I was friends with Charlie, I'd be like, dude, what are we wearing today, bro?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Vietnam outfit? I hope so.
Yes.
Did you just put me in the corner? You don't put a man in the corner. Come on, man.
Yeah, you don't box
me in. Yeah, you box me in.
I'm a Morbid.
Yeah. Oh man. So yes, Inherent Vice, 2014. Now it's directed by a guy by the name Paul Thomas Anderson, and he does some very interesting movies. Magnolia, phenomenal. Punch Drunk Love, pretty damn good. I'm trying to think of some of his other ones, but I'm just going to stop there.
Okay.
Great director and just different style. Like it's they're solid, good movies. Oh, Boogie Nights he did. Yeah, just really cool style. So, Inherent Vice, check it out if you want. Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, and I like Joaquin Phoenix too. I mean, you know, sometimes it makes a movie makes me like an actor better, and of course, we all know about the Joker. So,
You mean Joker? Come on, man.
Yeah, sorry, Joker. I meant like the movie
Joker. There you go. Yeah, okay. you know.
Yeah, golly.
Golly. So what you got for us?
So today, so we're gonna start a little, Corey's interesting facts, but I have to, this is something that, as an Ohioan sports fan, I'm excited and pumped about. Okay, our Cleveland Browns, our next year finally came. We made it to the playoffs. We made it. We're in. And then we won. We beat the Steelers.
So that means they're going to the Super Bowl?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. They still got some playoff games to go. They still got rounds, but they made out of first round, this is the first playoff win. We've made it to this point, like the wild card before this. We've made it to this, but never made it past, right? This is the first one. We're actually in the playoffs. We did it. We won. Baker Mayfield. I mean, I'm just going to talk about the game for 2 seconds because it was amazing. We set records of first quarter scores. We had 28 points in the first quarter. First play of the game, fumble. High snap, Browns get it. First play. Insane, right?
Wow,
I'm in my living room jumping around. I'm like all the videos, okay? Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I was pumped. Next thing you know, next drive, interception, touchdown. Interception, touchdown.
Holy crap.
What is going on? This is insane. And then we just did a normal drive. Just a normal drive down the field. We stopped them on 4 downs, get the punt, drive down, score another touchdown. 28-0 in the first quarter. I mean, insane. It's like, it blew my mind. We end up scoring 48 total points, okay? Ben Roethlisberger threw for 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions that make them lose the game. I mean, that's what happened.
Wow.
So there was records set. So the Browns had it with 28 points. Ben Roethlisberger, I can't remember the exact number, but I think it was like 47 completed passes. He threw for like 60. He threw like 68 times in the game as a quarterback. That's like unforeseen numbers. Like no quarterback ever does that. Usually they throw like 30 to 35 a game.
Wow.
So him completing more than what a quarterback normally throws is insane. I mean, 500 yards is a huge game. So I'm sorry, Ben. I'm not a Steelers fan. I'm sorry. Go Browns. Wolfpack. The dog pound's in here. Let's go.
Wolfpack?
Well, yeah. So it's a dog pound.
Dog pound.
But it's a dog pound, but then it's a dog pound gets together like a wolf pack is the whole grand scheme of everything. So there's everybody on Facebook saying wolf pack, So we're out there barking on everybody's Facebook post right now, So
well, congrats, Brownies. That's pretty sweet.
Yes. Woo! So go Cleveland, right?
Cleveland.
That did lead me to this is not so sports related, but this is actually my facts, but with concluding the dog pound. I just want to learn a little bit about dogs, right? I'm a huge dog fan. I do enjoy dogs. So one that, a question that I've always had for dogs in general is, so do you know actually, like, so you know how they always say a dog's nose is wet, right?
Yeah.
So they always say that. Do you truly know what that means? Like, I've always heard mixed things. It makes the dog is sick or not sick, not feeling well, which is true. But like, do you know why truly a dog's nose is wet?
No.
It actually it's actually part of their sense their sense glands actually. So it's kind of crazy. So like it actually holds stuff to them, to actually so they can sense it, and that's how their senses their smelling is so strong because it actually sticks to their nose. So they're constantly smelling, and that's why they have a stronger smell to it. I'm like, well, that's kind of crazy. I never knew why. I always asked, and I've always been told, well, if the nose is fine, if the nose is wet, they're not sick. If the nose is dry, they're not feeling well, right? So I'm like, oh,
interesting. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's crazy. So do you know what the tallest dog in the world is? Like the Guinness World Records?
Irish Wolfhound.
Well, no, like, do you know how many inches? Like,
Oh,
like
gotcha.
if I
No.
give you an inch to it, it's 44 inches tall.
Holy crap, man! That's actually
insane.
a horse.
Exactly, that's a mini horse.
horse.
You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's bigger than a mini horse. Yeah.
Yes, that's insane. I thought that was crazy.
That's
I'm like,
wild.
okay, well, that is absolutely massive.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that. And then some other things that you don't realize. But do you know, like, so in human ears, how old do you think the oldest dog to ever live is?
In human years,
Yeah.
25.
No. So a dog its name was Bluey, Bluey.
Hey, Bluey.
Lived for 29 years and 5 months old. Lived from 1910 to 1939.
That's amazing.
Isn't that insane? Isn't that crazy?
That dog. That would be such a hard passing because you're like, I
Oh, absolutely.
literally had this dog
This is like
my
child.
entire life.
Yes. I've taken care of this thing from a baby till the time that it's literally probably can't walk and still getting it. But the photo they actually show like online of the one I was reading about. I mean, the dog is like full, like she's old. I think it's a girl when I was reading it. But when she was like there, I mean, the photo was when before she passed, she was sitting on a chair with her paw up in the air, shaking the owner's hand too. So she was still like, I mean, they're just not made to live that long. So I mean, it's impressive, man. It's awesome. So
that is
yeah.
impressive.
So that's cool. And then so I thought this was kind of just a funny one because of movies and stuff related. Do you know that they're actually, so out of everybody that passed from the Titanic and then the survivors, the few survivors or whatever from the Titanic actual boat crashing, there's actually 3 dogs that survived the crash.
That's kind of. I mean, I love dogs, but I bet you there's probably a few humans that are a little PO'd about that one.
Well, I totally agree.
Like,
with
wait a
you,
minute, I can't get on that lifeboat, but that doggy is. Like, can that dog just sit on my lap?
Yeah, I can literally sit underneath that dog.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
I can't just
So I get
hold that
one.
dog? What? Seems like some really weird rules to be thrown out while the boat's sinking, but all right. Who am I?
agree.
I'm just a passenger.
That's funny. I think this is, we all know this one. This is a general dog term, but dogs don't sweat. Their sweating is them panting, so that's how they excrete their sweat from their body. They actually don't have sweat glands, so that was one. But other than that, I think. Oh, the other thing that I thought was really cool. So, do you know, actually, which I have a very hard time believing this. I had to find this one. A dog's nose print is just as distinctive as a human being's fingerprint.
Is that so?
Isn't that weird? So, but there's obviously not a database of that. But they said that if you actually take your fingerprint scan of your fingerprint and then took the same thing as a dog, each dog would have their own little special marking just like that.
I'm going to be checking Jackson's nose out tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
He's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, I got a magnifying glass. I'm like, oh, okay.
I see it.
Oh, now I'm going to go look up pictures of your breed, okay?
Yeah.
I want to make sure you don't got the same nose.
That's awesome.
It's got like an identical pup out there.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry. So one more thing that I found out about the dogs. Okay. So sorry. This is the last one. All right. Then I swear I'm done with my facts. So do you know how like a dog when they're done, soiling the grass with their functions? Okay. They take their paws and they scrape and they like throw stuff on top of it.
Trying to bury it or whatever, yeah.
Well, actually, so I always said that. I always said that, but I read on 2 different articles today that there's actually scents on the dog's paws. So the dog's paws actually have scent to them. So when they're doing that, they're actually not doing it to the grass. That's why they'll do it like on concrete and stuff too. Like wherever they're at, wherever it happens, they'll still do it, and because what they're doing is they're trying to like cover up the smell of that with their smell.
Oh, very cool.
So I'm like, wait, what? So when I read on the first one, I'm like, okay, skeptical. Reading a second one, same thing. I'm like, all right, I believe it a little bit more. I guess I
believe it.
So it's a little bit more. So they're just trying to cover their smell. That's the whole thing. So
kind of like, I don't want you to know I've been smoking cigarettes, so I'm going to step in dog poop.
Yep. yeah. Good answer.
It makes sense to me.
Done.
All right, well, cool. Well, I like that.
All right.
So you got a subscription to the Dog Fancy. What about Cat
Yes.
Fancy? We getting Cat Fancy next week?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, right. We'll roll the dice.
Yeah, we'll roll the dice. You don't know. So it's always what's going on in its brain is what I do the research.
What's going on up here? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So.
Well, all right. That's all I got.
All right. So yeah, I have one more thing.
Oh,
just
let's hear
a
it.
small thing. So I just want to say, I listened to a radio show here in Cleveland. They did, an ex-employee that grew hard on everybody. He did pass recently. I won't go into too many details about it, but I do just want to say, rest in peace, Nads. I understand the pain and agony that you're going through, and sorry I had to come to that, but rest in peace, sir. I miss you. You'll be missed. I'm sorry.
And if you're ever in a dark place, reach out.
Yes, absolutely.
There's
it's really not worth it.
hotlines,
Yeah,
friends,
Yes.
family.
absolutely.
Give people the opportunity.
Yes. Don't assume that nobody's there to help you.
That's right. Wow, way to
but that's
really bring it down.
I'm not trying to bring it down, but I at least want
This
to
is
say,
starting everybody's Monday, bro.
Yeah. Well,
Next time, do that before you talk about dogs. Dogs
All
are a
right,
pretty
that's all right.
happy topic, okay?
they are a super happy topic. I laughed the entire time.
All right, well, to spruce up everybody's lives, I'll post a picture of Jackson to fade us out.
Sweet. I like it.
R.I.P. Nads, but also
R.I.P. Nads.
dogs.
Yeah. Yes. Dogs.
So have a good week still.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening. And thanks for watching.
See you next week.